All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Hard Work, Bad Decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it. And today we are with Dylan King, Dylan the Killa King.
Let's go.
That's the name, right, Killa?
Killa King,
So,
baby.
so it's not Dylan the King, like the King?
No,
Because I was really hoping your fight name would be the.
I know, you must have told them that for my second fight.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I won, they said, even whenever they were announcing me, they said, Dylan the King. And I was, Gilbert must have said so.
No, I didn't. I think that's like it's just common sense. But I get it. Dylan Killa King. Okay, Killa King.
Yeah, that name was given to me, Killa, like it should be. I didn't make up my own name.
You earned it. Okay. I appreciate it. So, on March 27th, you're going to be having your second Pro MMA fight for Sparta. Tell me, how are you feeling about that?
I feel good, man. It's going to be back in my weight class, my division.
Yeah.
Yeah, 135. You know, I feel confident. I feel like it's a good matchup. It's a good camp. It'll be a good name on the resume. Yeah, I'm excited. We've been working so hard. We obviously just got done working.
Yeah, we got not training.
You can't
tell.
Yeah, man. No, I feel good. I feel super confident in our preparation. So it's time to go have some fun.
You fighting Gino, right? Who's out of Factory X. He will actually be making his pro debut, and I believe he's gonna be making his 135 weight class debut. Tell me how you feel about that matchup.
I actually, I'm excited for the matchup. I know he's got a lot of grit. He's a tough kid. He's gonna be wrestling. He's gonna try everything he can to get the fight where he wants, and I'm not gonna let that happen. I think it's going to make for an exciting fight, but I feel good. It's your former camp, so
yeah, Factory X. So for people who don't know, for the tail end of my fight career, I trained with Mark Montoya and Factory X. Those guys became like family to me, and since I've been running my own gym, now it's very interesting since we fight them now. So I'm fighting my old camp. And it always adds a little weird feeling because it's super competitive, but at the same time super respectful.
Yeah, because we know, I know what we're all working towards. We all got goals, but at this point in time, my goals are more important to me than his goals. So.
Yeah, it's all business.
Yeah.
And Gino, he actually called out one of our other fighters, Hector, who's one of your main training partners.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Hector had so much going on that he couldn't take this fight. So now you stepping in. How do you feel about? Because I feel like the fact that he called out your homie, and now you're gonna step up is like you taking care of business for the family.
Yeah, that's my boy. I don't I haven't really thought of it that way. He definitely did call Hector out after Hector won against one of his teammates.
Yeah.
So I get that. It makes sense to call him out, especially after a big win. They both won that night. But yeah, no hard feelings. Like I said, it's all business, and I'm just planning on going out there and doing what I do, regardless of if he called out my boy. I don't think it's a good matchup for him if he does fight Hector, but
yeah,
that's
Hector's
neither
tough.
here nor there.
Yeah, Hector's tough. So so this show is called Hardwork, Bad Decisions. Now let's talk about bad decisions. We know that your pro debut, you end up losing that fight. You had a stellar amateur career going 5-1. So there was a lot of high expectations for your pro debut, and we fall short on our pro debut. Can you tell us a little bit? Why do you think you lost that fight?
I mean, at the end of the day, I just made a mistake that put me in a really bad spot.
Yeah.
Then I was working from a bad spot pretty much from the beginning of the fight. But, there's little lessons to be learned. I don't like making excuses for that one because, at the end of the day, I lost the fight. But, we went out of weight class. I felt like it was right after Corona, so I didn't know when we were going to be fighting again, and I was afraid it wouldn't be for a year. I didn't know if we were going to be able to put on shows. So, the first one they gave me, I took it, and looking back, hindsight's 2020. It was stupid, but I still feel like I learned a lot even from that, and it put a fire under me. So let's go do work.
Well, so as a coach and watching the fight, there was a couple of factors that you mentioned. Yes, we did take the fight out of weight class, which like you said, we're not gonna make an excuse there. Another big factor was like fighting in Wyoming for the first time.
Yeah.
It was one of their first card. I think it was the first. It was the first card in Wyoming, fighting outside. It was like just a whole different atmosphere. So I think we took a lot of learning lessons.
Yeah, a lot of learning lessons.
Yeah.
And I'm using those learning lessons every day here in the gym, and I just feel like I've only lost a few times, right? Twice,
yeah.
Specifically, and I've learned so much from those. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Like when you win, it just reinforces like, yeah, we did the right things leading up to this. When you lose it, it gives you some perspective of like what I can work on, what I need to work on, things I shouldn't do. And so, I've been thinking about that nonstop ever since that fight, and how I can get better. And I feel it every day. I'm just improving constantly.
Okay, so let's get back to this fight. So Gino, watching his last fight, and I think there's no secret here. He's a wrestler. He's a hard wrestler. He's a hard grinder. Now he's gonna make you think, "Oh, I'm gonna strike with you."
Yeah.
Okay, but we know when the heat comes on, a wrestler is going to wrestle.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm a wrestler. So anything that you're doing to mentally prepare for that type of 3-5 minutes of grinding?
Mentally, I'm there. We've been putting in the work to get the cardio there. But I've been fighting guys like that since day one, pretty much.
Yeah.
Guys who you touch them a couple times, they shoot. And I feel like pretty much since my 4th amateur fight, I've been fighting guys who could have been pro or like right on the edge of pro. And so, the 5 minutes doesn't bother me. We've been training 5-minute rounds forever. I feel good, man. I'm mentally just getting myself prepared for what I want to do.
Yeah.
I know what he's gonna do, but I'm gonna do what I want to do.
And I love that, because as a fighter, a lot of times we focus so much on our opponent and what they can do. We forget about stuff we can do. Like I'm not sitting here and going into the cage and going to fight his fight.
Yeah.
I want him to fight my fight.
Yeah.
Now, with that said, we have to assume that Gino is working on his striking too.
Yeah.
Because he may come out and surprise us and like, no, I'm not going to wrestle. I'm going to strike to prove a point or to throw us off. Now, if that happens, tell me some of the things that you may be thinking about, preparing for, or whatever the case can be.
Oh man, I feel like if he tries to stand up with me, I just don't feel like it's a smart game plan for him.
Confident.
Yeah. We've seen before what happens when somebody tries to stand.
I know you put people to sleep,
or they shoot.
Yeah, and they shoot. Yeah.
Yeah, and in that case, man, I'm good at catching stuff on the way in, so. It just, I don't feel like, I don't see him beating me anywhere in this fight. Standing on the mat, my jiu-jitsu's slick. I feel strong right now. My striking's quick, nasty. So I feel confident, man. I give him respect because it's a fight, and I'm not going to go in there and not give him respect because anything can happen, right?
Right.
I do feel like I'm the better fighter in every area.
Okay. So, like, when people talk about fights, everybody try to sound super humble, super respectful, and I love that, because that's the way I kind of tell it my career. But what is your goal with this fight? Say it out loud, speak it into existence, speak it into reality. What is your goal with this fight?
My goal is to go out there and dominate, get this W in impressive fashion, and start building this record, this career.
Word up. So now on this card, which is going to be a fantastic night, we got a lot of other people on this card.
Yeah.
We got Aaron, who's an amputee. He only got one leg. He's going to be doing his boxing debut representing the team. We got Daniel, who's 4-0 as an amateur. He's fighting another tough guy. We got my son, who's making his amateur debut. How do you feel? And you're gonna be the main event, so you're gonna end off the show.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you feel about your guys that's fighting? And then the second part of the question, how you feel about you being the last one fighting and ending off the night?
So I'm super confident in the guys. They're all looking so good right now. Elijah, your son, he's so strong, man. The kid is an athlete, you know, as the definition of an athlete. He's
I
just a beast.
mean, you know, he got the right DNA. You
Yeah,
know,
but he got the better version.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool.
Yo, I mean, the kid, he's impressive, man. I'm super looking forward to that one. Dan is looking good. He's sharp. He's strong.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that matchup. I think he's got a, you know, it's a good matchup that they set up for him. It seems like they had to go out of state to get this kid to fight Dan. But yeah, he feels good. I got to roll with him last night, and he feels strong. He feels real good. And then we got Aaron, which, I mean, Aaron, that guy is just impressive all around.
Right, he's a bull.
Yeah, he's a beast. I mean, jiu-jitsu, boxing, it don't matter. The dude is a beast. He went out there and won a gold medal jiu-jitsu without, you know, with one leg.
One leg, yeah.
The guy is a savage.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. I love Aaron, man.
But I think, you know, so excited for those guys, and then I'm really excited to end off this show, man. Be the main event.
Main event.
That's it. That's what I worked for, you know, this whole time. Get to that main event show, and yeah, we're gonna go out there, have some fun, put on the show for the people. That's it.
You know, the thing about being the main event, and I've been the main event for a couple shows. It's like you sitting around, you waiting and you waiting, and you're like, damn, I wish I could go fight right now, get it out the way, because that anxiety starts to build up. You know, that nervousness starts to build up.
Yeah.
How are you going to deal with those emotions the fight of the night, or the night of the fight?
Luckily, you know, I've dealt with this situation before when me and Z and Jansen did AVM a couple Aprils ago. I guess not last April, April before. I was the 15th out of 18 fights. Yeah, you know. So, and since then, I've either been like the co-main event or the main event.
Yeah.
So luckily, I've been in this situation before. It is like there is the moment where like you start to almost want to just take a nap. At a certain point, like I already watched 6 fights. I still got 6 more fights until I fight. Yeah.
Because I think this card maybe have 14, 15 fights, bro.
Yeah. And so
it's gonna be a long night.
You know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the first part of the fight card and watch the guys fight, relax, and not get too
emotionally wrapped up in other people's fights.
Exactly. You know, I'm gonna watch the guys, enjoy it, be in the moment, and then when it's my time, it's my time. That's it.
Yeah. So that's one of the biggest things when you have like multiple people fighting. You know, we want everybody to win.
Yeah.
But you know, if it came down and some of our guys didn't come out with the win, then that could affect you, because now it's like, you know, in the background, people got some losses and the mood is down. Everybody's looking all somber, and you have to still keep your energy high and ready to compete. So you got to be prepared for all avenues or all possibilities.
That is something you kind of have to mentally prepare for. But, you know, one way or another, no matter who wins, who loses, if we all win, we all lose, I still have to go out there and handle business. It doesn't matter what happened months before, it doesn't matter what happened hours before, I still got to get in that cage and do work. So that's all I'm focused on right now.
Okay, so now you obviously represent Victor MMA, you know, the team that I started. You train with me. You train with a bunch of guys here, with your other coaches like Justin. How do you feel about the team and the potential of this team? Because, like, you know, we are not the Factory X. You know, we got all these UFC fighters or American top teams or AKAs, but we have a lot of potential. We have a lot of guys that's making a come up, including yourself. How do you feel about the future?
I mean, I feel like the sky's the limit for our team, for the guys here. I mean, there's some of these guys that I feel like if they want to go, they're going to go. That's just inevitable. And I want to take this gym all the way. You know, I want us to be the guys that get this gym in the UFC. That's what, you know, like I want you to be in my corner when we finally get there. And we have all the potential to do it. And I know that because we've beaten the Elevations. We've beaten the Factory X. You know, we've beaten 303s. Like, we've beaten all these huge name camps. Yeah. We're fighting high level. I mean, we're in Colorado. It's like probably the toughest state in the U.S. for fights. Right. And we're doing this from our amateur debuts. Yeah. You know.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird when you're fighting and across the cage, your opponent corner man is like big name UFC guys.
Yeah.
You know, like the Noah Magnies and the Mark Montoya coaches, and like, damn, he's training with that guy. And you got to put all that stuff to the side because he may be training with a UFC caliber fighter or actually a UFC fighter, but doesn't mean he's that guy.
Yeah.
So,
you know, it's funny because in my second Emmy fight, Neil Magny was actually in the corner.
Yeah, right.
And
yeah.
so was Drew Dober.
Right, and they're both legit dudes.
Like
you know what I
really
mean?
good fighters.
Hey, right.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, you know, like we put in the work, man. I'm so confident in us. Like, I don't care who you train with, what your camp is, who your coach is. I don't care, man. Like,
they can't fight for you.
No, that's not gonna
door
help.
shut.
Yeah, it's not gonna help you fight night. You know.
Yeah.
We put in so much work, and I feel like I'm such a student of the game that I can't see this going any other way but me getting my hand raised.
So if you had to pick a couple of your, especially from your last fight, and a couple of weaknesses you address, what are like some of the weaknesses that you address and you made it stronger as you prepared for this fight?
I mean, honestly, like that sprawling brawl, I think, you know, I got a little too heavy on my feet at the beginning of that fight, and that kid was able to shoot and get me down.
Yeah. This
fight is, you know, this camp has been way different. I think my reaction time's on point.
Yeah, taking you down and stuff. Like I'm a 200-pound man with a wrestling background, grappling background, and we do a lot of sparring and grappling, and sometimes I get you against the cage and you feel like you're doing all the right things to stop my takedown off, and with the fact that my size and strength advantage, so I'm super confident that if Gino tries to wrestle with you, he's gonna have a very difficult time getting you down.
Yeah, I'm not giving him anything.
Yeah. Well, okay, man. So, besides fighting, what's going on in your life? So many things happen with the pandemic, work, you know, your family. Like, tell a little bit about Dylan King besides just fighting.
Just fighting, man.
He's like, this is all it is.
That's it. Nah. You know, I got an awesome wife, man. I have a good family. My brothers are awesome. My sister's amazing. You know, my mom is probably the coolest mom I've ever known.
Yeah, she's a trip.
She's so dope, man. She's such a cool lady.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think this last year has been kind of a whirlwind, man. Like, you know, we've just been working here at the gym. I've been working, you know, obviously outside of the gym to pay bills, a bartend. And at work, you know, it's been crazy trying to make that happen. And you know, the restaurant, they're doing the best they can to do what they got to do to make some money still. So
yeah,
it's been a wild year, man. But
yeah, because you're one of those, you know, service employees as you being a bartender, and I know you definitely one of the people that's been affected with the pandemic and all the shutdowns.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but you know, like one day at a time. That's all you can do. Like, you know, I can't worry too much about the future. I can't worry about the past. Can't change that. So, you know, I'm just trying to take this thing all one day at a time and just one foot forward in front of the other, and that's it.
Yeah. So, you know, with this fight, which is happening on March 27th, it's going to be Cheyenne, Wyoming, and tickets are available. If you go to Sparta SE for sports and entertainment.com, you can get your tickets. You know, if you get your tickets, you know, make sure to give Dylan some credit there. I love the fact that Sparta has been able to maintain putting on events through this pandemic. Yes, we got to drive to Wyoming, which, no offense to people from Wyoming, it's not a fun state. Like,
Wyoming.
And like, it's not there. But I'm so thankful for people like Jeff and Becca and all the whole Sparta organization for keep putting on events so these fighters could keep growing their career. You know, speak to that and how thankful you are that you can still keep competing although we went through a whole pandemic.
Yeah, no, honestly, it's crazy because I was thinking about it the other day. You know, even though Sparta's still putting on these events, you know, how many fighters are even get on these cards? If there is 14 fights, that's 28 fighters.
Yeah.
How many fighters live in Colorado?
Right.
Alone?
A lot.
A lot. You
Right.
know? So I'm thinking, we're lucky to be in the position we are. Luckily, I had the MMA career I did with them.
Yeah.
And now we still have that opportunity, that avenue to get fights.
Yeah.
There's guys in this state who are really good fighters who don't have the avenue, and they're just sitting on the shelf right now.
Yeah, because they don't have the connection. Well, the one thing for me, as being a head coach and being a head gym owner, I try to make things very straightforward with Jeff. Like I don't really bullshit. When Jeff calls and he asks for a fight, I'm like, yo, we either gonna take the fight or not take the fight. I don't prolong things. I don't argue. I don't worry about, well, if this guy is he a wrestler? Is he a striker?
Yeah.
Like as an MMA fighter, and this is the way I ran my career. I gotta be able to beat everybody in all different forms.
Unfortunately,
so I make their job easy.
Yeah, there is a lot of guys who
Pick and choose.
Yeah, who want to be fighters but don't want to fight.
Right.
You know, and so that I know that makes it hard on them. But Becca and Jeff, I love them. They're awesome. The whole Sparta team. I mean, they're amazing, and I'm just really thankful they're still putting on shows and that we're able to be part of it. And you know, like you said, I'm main event. You know, so
yeah,
it's cool, man. I got a big spot in my heart for those guys. So I'm just appreciative, and we'll keep doing this thing.
Keep it simple. Man, that's all I have, man. I don't know if you want to give a shout out to any of your sponsors or whatnot.
Yeah, man, I want to shout out all my sponsors real quick. Sheath, Vegan Vitality, the Fight of the Rider podcast, Radix Remedies, Roots Whole Body Apothecary, Jordan Cozy Designs up in Denver. I mean, I got so much support. It amazes me sometimes. I'm sitting here and I'm just thinking like, man, this amount of support and people that I have in my corner is pretty amazing. So, you know, I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Coach.
Yeah, well,
You know, I got him.
Yeah.
We got 7 Moons. I mean, there's a few things that, like, if I didn't have those, I wouldn't make it through these fight camps. So, you know, I love you guys. I appreciate all y'all.
Yeah, I would like give a quick shout out to some of the sponsors we have here with Sheath Underwear, same sponsor here. Let's see, I don't remember people's. I gotta like look at the picture. You know, 7 Moons Massage Therapy, Jiu-Jitsu on the Go, which is a really cool app. You can just, it's pretty cheap, and you download it to your phone, and there's a lot of videos for jiu-jitsu that you can practice at home, and the Victory Youth Boxing, but I just bought a Victory. So that's all I have, man. Thank you for being on the show once again, Dylan Killa King, March 27th. Check him out. That's all I got, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Hard Work, Bad Decisions, the good, the bad, the ugly. Let's talk about it.